I know that a lot of people are enjoying playing Hogwarts Legacy, and it has been very well received. I have played this for 4 days now, about 30 hours, and the moment has come. This review will address some of the positives that kept me going until now, and some of the negatives of the PC version on Steam that make me want to stop playing it. The overall introduction the website and Steam give us to the game, the fidelity to the universe, game mechanics, performance, and more. All from a gamer's perspective. I don't care about politics in games, and I'm not a die-hard fan of the universe or Potterhead, and these get in the way of an honest review. Let's get into it. Let's start with the premise on the game's website. Hogwarts Legacy is an immersive, open-world action RPG set in the world first introduced in the Harry Potter books. For the first time, experience Hogwarts in the 1800s. The main character is a student who holds the key to an ancient secret that threatens to tear the wizarding world apart. Now you can take control of the action and be at the center of your own adventure in the wizarding world. Your legacy is what you make of it. Live the unwritten. So I went around the halls and rooms of Hogwarts, but apart from a few moments like the clown ghost or the angry armors, I just felt really alone. It can be immersive at times, but for the most part, I felt separated from it, because while the world does look quite full, it also feels very stationary, matching the FPS, as if I am in a house with short animated puppets. I went to class, but most of the time it's just cinematic of it for 2 minutes. Most NPCs are not really interactable. I didn't run into people and have them complain or challenge me to a wand duel. A key feature of immersion is feeling I am there. Like in Red Dead Redemption 2, I can get in trouble with anyone. Bumping into them, robbing them, getting challenged to fight, or just that cheery g'day fella. In Hogwarts Legacy, they might as well just be moving cardboard cutouts of students and faculty, really. As for the open world part, yes, it is for the most part a sizable open world around and within Hogwarts, and for the most part, it is well done. There are quite a few hints of genius in the game design in a few areas, and some of the puzzles and quests you have to solve are very creative. However, I was very often met with invisible barriers I couldn't jump through, immersion-breaking game mechanics, like 5 seconds ago I climbed a cliff like Spider-Man, and now I can't vault over this little hedge or rock. It's almost as if for the sake of this puzzle or quest, the main character forgets he can do certain things at times, limiting the openness of the world. The RPG part I really struggle with. I am this Witcher wizard with incredible godlike powers and speed compared to the rest of the world. It all just feels kind of silly. In combat, for example, I could defend and attack 10 times faster than my enemies, avoid all attacks altogether with a simple dodge spam, and bring down enemies with levels much higher than mine with relative ease. It just doesn't feel very role-playing game to me. In an RPG, you are cast in a world as one with the same skills as everyone else, or at least with some danger or consequences to your actions. Like you're just another fifth year and you can get hurt, just like the rest. One of the best features of the books and movies was Harry, Ron, or Hermione. None of them were godlike. None of them were really that extraordinary. They had their individual abilities that complemented each other and made them harder to deal with together, but they couldn't just crush Voldemort with the power of friendship. In Hogwarts Legacy, the main protagonist often feels like I was role-playing Zeus, descended from the skies and just dishing out some Olympian justice. I am a god amongst mortals and they should bow to my passing. That doesn't really sound like role-playing a student in Hogwarts who goes on a series of adventures. As for the taking control part, making your legacy or living the unwritten, sure, you can get up to some stealth design quests and start blasting away like the god you are and still finish the quest. But that's really about it. In reality, it is a story-driven single-player game where you strap yourself to endless cutscenes, chit-chat, and you really don't have that much control. It gives you sometimes the illusion of your choices matter, but they really don't. The story goes one way, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. And here lies the crux of this game. It's all a big illusion. The RPG elements like choosing the upgrades to get, or talents, or giving bonuses to your clothes to have better defense against a specific enemy, while you can do them, they're just irrelevant, and as you progress, you will sense that more and more. Most of the rewards are just cosmetics, and sure, fine, some of them look quite cool, but in a game where I can barely customize my character's appearance aside from the basic stuff, there's way too much emphasis on the clothing skins. The combat sometimes feels like I was at risk as I faced off to a half a dozen enemies, but once it started, it was all a big lie. They just stand there taking hits, slowly attacking me, and even the shields are the typical match the colors children's book where I need to hit them with a purple spell to break their purple shield. If you stop and actually look at the world bit by bit, it's all tricks and contraptions, not real magic. Now, let's get into the game mechanics. Here, I have to admit, they listened and got rid of the ridiculous broom altitude stamina thing. Thank fuck. I don't know who came up with that one, but they need supervision on the risk of eating the keys off their keyboard while writing an email with another brilliant idea. Next, we need to address the spell hotbar. I get that this was designed as a console game and ported to PC. We can all see that. And that controllers have very few keys compared to mouse and keyboard, sure. But why not have more spells in each hotbar? Keep the F1 to F4 swapping of the hotbars, but give the numbers 1 to 0 all each their own spell so we can have ready to go combos and prep sequences to try. And having stuff like brush, pet food, and others take up slots in this minuscule hotbar system is just crazy. Here's the middle ground. Maybe have 1 to 6 as available for combat spells and then 7 to 0 for other spells. Having to open the spells menu every 2 freaking minutes or every time we go back to the room of requirement to swap them is just frustrating and nonsensical on keyboard. Clearly, these were not designed for PC gamers and need desperately to be adapted. Now, I did a video on the tracking combat's problems. Link is in the description if you want to go see it. No need to address them here any further than when it breaks, it really breaks. As for the story, it's good. Nothing Oscar-worthy, but it doesn't disappoint. There are a lot of interesting details and interactions to be had and a few glimpses of brilliance here and there, but overall, it's just a good story. The side quests are varied and abundant, but nothing new or exciting, just your typical side quests. Go here, get this, farm that, etc. Again, nothing bad, but nothing extraordinary either. Some of the characters are very well done, others are a little subpar, but as apparently is the rule with this game, nothing bad, but nothing extraordinary either. Overall, just a decent story and gameplay. Now let's get to the performance, and here it is not pretty. After having extreme issues myself, I decided to go around and check for others having issues, and apparently something is really wrong. I have a 3060 Ti and play in a 1440p in medium settings, 3700X APU, with a very fast SSD and 32 gigabytes of decent RAM. And I have suffered endless FPS drops from 60 to sometimes single digits, not just moving around the world, but in cinematic cutscenes as well. Falling through the map, graphical glitches pretty much everywhere, and even missing control responses from these low frame rates. It all just feels like an unoptimized mess at the moment. However, it seems to be related mostly to RTX 30 series cards. Most, if not all, the complaints about this game's performance seem to come from the 30 series users. Even fucking 3090s. So, my experience has not been the best, as there are quite a few issues with this game, and in many ways it brought back memories of Cyberpunk 2077 all over again. We all wanted that game to be amazing, but it ended up being a long time until we got the true finished product. I'm afraid the same could be said about Hogwarts Legacy. It really is sad to me, because I see the perfect game here. It has that potential, but the performance issues, bad mechanics, and design choices I was shown in it really soiled my hopes for this game. I understand all the hype and the wishful thinking, craving for a good Harry Potter game after all this time, to be able to climb into the wizarding world and just be amazed by everything. I really do. But as a gamer, there are far better open world RPGs out there. Red Dead 2, Kingdom Come Deliverance, Grand Theft Auto 5, even Cyberpunk 2077 after getting their shit together. Maybe like them, in some time, with a few updates and patches, NVIDIA drivers, and a lot of elbow grease, Hogwarts Legacy can get there. Let's hope so, because right now, when you take away all the hype, politics, and see it for what it is, this game is a 7 out of 10. Fix the performance and it can be an 8. Fix the irrelevant and just plain silly game mechanics and it could be a 9. Fix the combat, the tracking system, and the spells hotbar, and they could almost claim a 10. For that 10 to happen, they would need to give us more customization options on our character, edit out some of the boring, repetitive, and useless cinematics, cover up those gameplay and story plot holes, and make the NPC standing about feel more alive. For now, I'm setting this game aside and moving on. There is just too much to deal with and in the way of me continuing to play this game. Maybe when they address some of these and other issues, I will return to it, Cyberpunk 2077 style. And I hope so. If you have an opinion to share, do so in the comments below. Just please be respectful. Leave a like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.